It's not going to get done, is it?
This is going to get done. I'm joined on the podcast this week by Rory Shadbolt. I'm pretty sure everyone at the club knows who you are by now. Come on, Rory, compose yourself. We good? We'll just carry on now. We're into it. So, you want to introduce yourself for people that don't know?
Yeah, so I'm Rory, originally from Oxford, which is 20 miles from Chippenham. No, start again.
This week on the podcast, I'm joined by Rory Shadbolt, one of the coaches of the first team. Rory, I've been with you all day, but how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. It's been a good day. Been busy doing bits and bobs around the place. Looking forward to the game tomorrow, really. Yeah.
You enjoying pre-season so far?
Yeah, I love it. I actually love it. It's like Christmas almost. It really is like Christmas. You have that time off, and then you want to start again, and you're waiting, and the days go so long. When you get a new group of players, which we have this year, it's what a good feel about the place. I'm looking forward to it.
So, exactly what is it you do with for the people that don't know, what is it you do?
So my job role is a support coach, but I do more than that around the football club. So on first team basis, I support the coaches. So I support Mark, Will, Jack, and James. Little thing, getting equipment out, putting equipment away, just education, learn about the coaching, different session plans, what they type of do. And within the day, really, I help Mark with several things. So go on the tractor with the 3G, put the mannequins away, start the cupboards, put the bibs out, put the bibs away, making sure they're clean for Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Lots of things, really.
So yeah, like you're still in like the learning process of like becoming a coach. It's like right at the beginning of your journey. But you've been doing this for years now. I know this, but like, how did you actually get into like start coaching originally?
So it's from a young age, really. I never actually played football from a young age because I wasn't very good. I was short, I was fat, I was overweight, and I couldn't do anything. But I did like holiday camps when I was younger, and then the guy who ran it was really good with me because I was too big for my age, height and weight ways, and I just loved to be involved. So I asked him if I could do some coaching, like for volunteering.
How old was you then?
13. I was about 5'11". That's 13. I was massive.
13 stone.
Yeah, 13 stone. Yeah, that was an issue as well. No, let me do it. And for about 3 or 4 years, I just helped on every holiday session and every evening course. That's how I got the love for it, really. And he encouraged me to help out and do lots of different things. Encouraged me to do my coaching badges as a gentleman as well. From back home, is really close I am with him, and he got me involved as well.
Yeah, so it was like, because I met you at college.
Yeah.
Obviously, but that was 4 or 5 years after you started coaching. What was the reason you went from? Because Chippenham was quite far away from obviously where you was going in Oxford anyway. But why did you go there?
Well, Oxford.
Yeah.
It's originally really because I had some difficulties growing up, just in various reasons, and then there was one college I got asked to go to. I got sort of reference towards, and it just wasn't for me. And I knew if I did 2 years there, I'd hate every minute of it. So my mum said to me, "What do you enjoy?" Obviously, I enjoyed football. I was like a football freak. I loved everything, Match Day magazine, everything. Watch every coaching video, and I looked at some college courses, and diploma in football level 2 came up. So my mum said, "Apply for it." I ran up the tutor, which her name was Amy, and then I had the meeting. Like the initial meeting, and then I was there, and it was probably the best thing I ever did in my life, really.
Yeah, because the first year I met you, we weren't like, you didn't like me really, did you?
No, to be honest with you, when you walked in with the other lads, I thought, he's a bit of an idiot, to be honest, because you walked in with all of them, thought you were quite big time, and yeah,
Yeah, because before I come to college, I was told that you were the worst footballer there.
And that was probably true, to be fair. It probably was. There were some interesting players on that, that
definitely.
year, trust me. But I was one of the worst.
No, but I remember they used to always be on like your iPad and stuff, like looking at the coach and stuff. But you were always involved with it. But like, ever since then, would you say like, was there anyone in particular that was a big influence on you back then?
Yeah, there's several few people. So I'm going firstly with James. So James is a guy who's from back home. So he's very close to me. So he really got me into football and really coaching. My dad's a football fan anyway, and he loves Man United. But James is like, he's almost like a second dad. So he took me to football. Took me to my first Nottingham Forest game, which made me start supporting them. He took me to all my games. So I used to play with a team called Kingham All Blacks. He took me there every week. I'm quite close with him, and he really got me involved. And then when I moved to college, I was Amy and Craig.
Oh, sorry.
We got 5 minutes in before he was interrupted, but that's the joys of everyone having a master key in it. Anyway, so you were saying, James, it was James that got you into football. Yeah. I didn't even know this anyway, and I've known you for God knows how long. But like James got you into football. I know already sort of the people that influenced you at college, but for those that are listening, who was it that sort of had the biggest impact on you there?
I wouldn't say there was one individual, but I do believe the three people. So Mike as well. I think it's important to mention him as well because he had a massive influence in the way I coach now and my values and beliefs in the way I believe we should do things.
Yes, sorry. So for those that are listening, Mike is a former Oxford United player. He's currently Banbury United manager. Was manager of Oxford. Was it at the time he was Oxford City man? When we first went,
Yeah,
when you first went there, he was Oxford City manager.
Yeah.
But yeah, carry on anyway.
So those three have a massive influence on me all different ways. So Craig, he's an amazing person. He's got time for everybody and everyone. If you're willing to have the right attitude and do the right things,
yeah, definitely.
And he'll help you in every way. And even now, even though we all have lives, we have busy lives, we still keep in contact when we can.
Yeah.
When we remember. Amy, what can I say about Amy? Amy's an unbelievable woman. I have so much time for her. And she was the one who gave me the opportunity to go to college. So people might not know about me, but academically I'm quite poor. So going to college, I wasn't sure if I was going to get in. And I didn't have the best grades in the world. But she said, you're dead enthusiastic, I love your attitude. And I had my level 1 coaching back then. So I had quite a few badges at the time. So she said, you've got all the experience, don't worry about it, we'll get you through your maths and English and you'll do it when you're at college.
Yeah.
And she just sort of gave me that belief that I can do anything.
Yeah, so for like it's the situation for college for me anyway. It was probably like the best 3 years of my life so far. Well, up until now, but like just the experience of being there was so like even probably for you as well. It was just such a good point. It sort of changed everything for me.
Yeah, definitely. Likewise, I think it just gave me that again. It gave me that confidence and belief because at the time I was quite an insecure person. I didn't like the fact of getting the bus on my own. I didn't like getting 2 buses on my own was quite a big thing for me.
Yeah.
Because the place I'm from. It's a little town, it's like a bubble, everybody knows each other in the bubble and nobody ever goes out. And the furthest place I do go is Oxford, and being 16 at a time, it was a big thing for me.
You used to have to travel about an hour and a half every
It took me an hour and a half to get there, and it took me 2 hours to get back. And I did that 5 days a week for about 4 years, because me and yourself, obviously, we did the extra year.
Yeah.
So we did the personal training, the fitness instructor, and we did level 1 sports massage. So I did that about 4 years, and when I first started, I didn't really know the buses. So I left my house at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'd get to college about 8:30. Nobody would be there till about 9:30.
Yeah, I remember you always used to be there before like the teachers.
I used to be there with my backpack and my iPad watching 442 magazine.
Nike Academy.
Nike Academy stuff. I'd wait for someone in the lock. And I want to get home to about 7 o'clock at night. And when I got up at 7, I'd go to coaching and do my coaching with my boys back then.
Yeah, so like for me, like I'd sum you up is the trip to St George's Park.
Yeah.
When we was all playing football and looking for you, and it like looked over and you was watching the Nike Academy train on the top pitch.
Every time I went to St George's Park, we were very fortunate to go several times. I think I've been about 9 times now, which is all through college. And when I go to St George's Park, even now, I'm like a kid in a candy shop. I love it. I love every minute of it. Like looking around. In my first time I went, I think I took about 500 pictures, just of a bit of grass. I took up at the sky.
Yeah, but that was just you said that because whenever we used to go to watch football at the start, it used to make me get there about an hour and a half before just so you could watch the warm ups and the stuff. And then, but no, I'm glad you grew out of that one. But definitely, I'd say college it was a big turning point for you as well.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I think socially as well, it helped me as well because I'm quite an outgoing person anyway. I think people, if they know me, quite an outgoing person. I like to speak to different type of people, and most of the time I'll speak to anybody. But even meeting you like yourself and other people.
Yeah, you was lucky enough to meet me at that point.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say that, but no, definitely meeting yourself has been a massive influence on myself. Give me the confidence to do different things. I always knew what the right thing was, but it's just actually doing it.
Yeah. And
certainly recently we'll move on to that. You've certainly given me the confidence to do more things.
Yeah, because it's sort of like I wouldn't have ever put us to be good friends because it was like we are completely different.
Yeah, we are.
It was just fortunate that like I was going through like a bad spell at the time, and then I think it was like my headset was broken on Xbox or something, wasn't it? And that's how I ended up like talking to you a lot. But unfortunately, you didn't go anywhere else. I'm sort of mates with you now. But anyway, so once you finished college, we like at this point it's sort of everyone sort of departs, didn't it? And that's when you decided sort of to apply for uni. But it was quite late you applied there, wasn't it?
It was again. I remember sat around the table in the clubhouse and we were getting to that process of applying and what we were going to do, and I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure about applying or not. And Amy said to me, "Well, if you don't apply, you'll never be able to accept it. But at least if you apply, you can reject it." I remember that to this day now. And I applied because I wasn't sure with my grades. I did all right at college, to be fair. I did all right, but it's just that uncertainty of do I go, do I not? So I applied, got accepted.
What was it like for you though? Like, and not for just you, but like, I don't know this, but what was it like for like your mum and dad and stuff when they found out that?
Oh, they were over the moon for me because growing up, I got told by certain people a lot of things I wouldn't be able to do things.
Yeah.
And then just overcoming every single barrier, and then being told and being accepted onto university was something which I couldn't imagine of even a year ago. From that moment in time, I would never imagine I've been going to university.
Yeah. What's up? What was it like? So when you first, obviously, like you said, you had to jump a barrier just to get a bus into Oxford.
Yeah.
So now you've ended up in like Manchester. What was it like when you first sort of your parents left you and dropped you off here for the first time?
The initial feeling was quite emotional. And when I mean emotional, probably for about 30 minutes was quite emotional.
Felt
Obviously,
sorry for yourself.
No, not even that. I was quite emotional because obviously it's a big moment that your parents are going away, and you don't know what the future's gonna hold.
Yeah.
And as soon as we went down the stairs, as you're aware of, in your first day, you go down, you meet everybody.
Yeah.
I quite settled quite quickly, and then after that, I was fine.
Yeah, because you can talk for England anyway, so you managed to sort of talk your way in for it. But so obviously you're studying coaching and management at university at the moment. But when you first come, how did you manage to first get here? Because I remember you told me that you was like started doing stuff at a club, and I was like, oh, fair play, but never really explained to me like how you managed to get in here in the first place.
So we started. It's like your first day at university. You meet people, you meet different type of people, and you have a conversation. And it's probably about a couple of weeks in, probably say 3 weeks in, I was speaking to a gentleman called Wayne Goodison, who's manager of 1874 Norwich, a cracking bloke again.
He's on your course.
He's on my course.
So
He's on my course, and he's one of the most funniest people I've ever met, and I will always be grateful for him. And he said to me, "Yeah, I got his number." I said, "What's his name?" "John Flanagan, manager of Nash. Here's your number." So he sent me this number, and he said, "Just have a chat with him." So I sent a text.
What did you send?
Pardon?
What did you say to him?
I can't remember initially, but it was something along the lines of, "Hi John, I'm Rory. I'm studying football coach and managing at UCFB. I was wondering if there's any opportunity for me to come and have a watch."
Yeah.
So really, I just wanted to shadow and get a look at what it was like at that level.
Yeah.
So John said, "Yeah, of course, no problem." He brought me to the game.
Yeah.
I watched the game, shook his hand. I was meeting Jack as well. And I've actually met Mark initially on the first time.
Do you know?
No, I didn't. And then John said, "Come train Tuesday." So I came Tuesday, and I remember the goalkeeping coach, Tom Conway, didn't do on a Tuesday or a Thursday, one of the days. And I told Mark about my qualification, what I had at my level 1 goalkeeping. So he said, "You can take a session then." So I was like, "I've got no kit. Here's a pair of gloves, here's a pair of boots, crack on, do a session."
Yeah.
And then I did the session.
How did that go?
I'm not too sure. I don't think it went. I think it went alright.
Do you think you're impressed with your footballing abilities?
Footballing abilities, what words you use. I think I'm lacking that quite a lot. But I think it went alright. Cameron Mason, the first team goalkeeper, I think was really good with me because I think he just, at the time on the old 3G, I think he just appreciated having an individual session.
Yeah.
I think he was just being kind anyway because I was new. But if I did it now, I'd probably say something else. And then Mark took in change room 4, gave me some kit and said, "Come on the coach Thursday." And then the rest is history.
What, to the game?
To the game.
What was your first game that you went to?
Oh, I can't remember.
Ah, shocking.
I know, I can't remember. I really can't.
What was that like anyway? Because it was sort of vaguely. What was you doing on your first game?
First game, really, I was quite nervous because I wasn't.
What was the players like with you when you first came?
Players were unbelievable with me. They took me in straight away.
Didn't give you as much stick as they do now.
No, not as much stick now. But I think that comes with time.
Yeah.
I always believe someone's giving you a bit of grief, it means that they like you. I'm a strong believer in that, and I wasn't really sure what to do, so I was quite nervous. I still now, but you're just so eager to do what you can. So I was probably doing the same what I'm doing now. I think that's the most important with myself as well. I'm never too important to do little things, and that's what keeps me going every day.
Yeah.
Little things like picking up bottles, hoovering up, swapping the change rooms. I'll never be too important to do that because that's what keeps me humbled every day and doing the right things.
Yeah, so you had your first few games. When was it like? Because you were here obviously for the full season.
Yeah.
At that point, what was that like? It's just that journey of going from being like kids coaching.
Yeah.
What was it like to then have the experience sort of? Did you expect to like progress that quickly into where you was?
Not a chance. Too much chance. I do remember on the course, on the first few days / weeks, they say it's really important how we go and coach. It's really important how you go get yourself some experiences, etc., etc. And I just didn't think I'd certainly be with the first team straight away at National League North level from the start. I think there was a few people.
Yeah, because I was going to touch on this because there was, without saying anything bad, but there was a few people that objected you to being.
Yeah, there were a few individuals, and I had some advice from some people on my course to go, don't actually listen to them because you've got a
Because what was it that was said to you?
I'm not going to go into too much detail.
Yeah, obviously we won't say
it was just along the lines of the fact that
don't be here.
Almost the fact it's too early for you to be there.
Yeah.
And you don't have the qualifications necessarily to be where you are.
Yeah, so they're sort of telling you not to run before you could walk.
Correct.
Effectively.
Correct. And I think the one thing I learned from that is you've got to go with your own belief and your own gut. Yeah. I did have advice from certain people on the course who said don't listen to them and do it because you deserve it.
Yeah.
Because you've been there.
That's one thing I think the club doesn't probably get credit for is they have the sort of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but they allow people the chance to be chucked in at the deep end. It happened to me as well, but they don't let people not that they don't let them, but they give opportunities to people that probably should be getting them at the age and this sort of the level we are to prove ourselves that we should be here.
100%. One thing I'll certainly say in this podcast is whatever happens in my journey in coaching or etc., I'll always owe gratitude to the football club.
Oh yeah, and it's exactly the same for me. Like I've always said to you as well, no matter where I go next and whatever I do in the rest of my career, I'll always come back to Curtis. It's always this was the first place that ever given me the chance to do something. So because
people at the football club are unbelievable. They teach me. They've taught me so many valuable lessons about not just football, but actually about life, about how you deal with people, how you deal with certain things. I thought I was quite a good time management anyway, and I'm quite good with my time. But how you talk to players, what you do, right, different ways is it's just in general. Been taught so much. And I think I'll always just carry on.
I'd say the life experience that you get from here, you will never be able to beat. You can't teach what we get here at a university course or stuff like that. So it's like I said, I'll always be grateful for the opportunity. Obviously, we're in completely different departments, but it runs throughout the whole club. It's like the morals, they give the opportunities to us.
Just one thing, for example, in our first team coaching staff, unbelievable, cracking group of people. They're phenomenal, and the banter is unbelievable. But even though our job roles say different, but as a group we're collective and we do things together. Yeah. So you don't feel like someone's above you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We're just all in the same playing field. We all have different responsibilities which make us that important. But when we're together, we're the same level.
It's there's that ladder of authority. Yeah. But you never feel it when it's one team, isn't it? Yeah.
100%. And we do think we win together, we lose together, and everything we do together. And I think that's so important. That's one thing I've learned. So if I ever go into management as a manager, that's one thing I'll certainly implement into my coaching staff.
Yeah, so I touched on a minute ago when we mentioned about college, and you said about James when back home is sort of like a father figure. Yeah. You're obviously, I know Mark sort of took you under the wing here, hasn't he, and sort of been sort of like that to you here. Yeah. I know some people make a joke and say that anyway, but how big of an impact has he made in your journey here?
Unbelievable, massively. Mark will certainly be one of the most influential people I'll have in my life.
Yeah.
Because he's given me the guidance, he's given me the education, he lets me make mistakes, and he lets me improve on those mistakes, because I make tons of mistakes, but it allows me to learn from it, and he encourages me to do the right things. For example, just doing this, I would never have done this in a million years, because I've been insecure. Yeah. And Mark says, do it, it's good for you.
Yeah.
Because this is me being uncomfortable. And I've always said to myself, I like being uncomfortable. You have to practice what you preach. Yeah,
considering you didn't actually want to do the podcast, you're doing quite well, aren't you?
Yeah, but you've got to practice what you preach, and I love it. And he always puts me out of my comfort zone. He always challenges me.
Yeah.
To be better and never drop your standards.
Yeah, so talking to Mark, it was a weird experience, because I was here at the time as well by this point. But when John was sacked, and not for a period of time, but it's sort of it's the first experience you had of being at a football club where there's been a change of management sort of thing as well. Obviously, it wasn't as drastic as what it could have been effectively, but what was that like for you?
It was actually quite a nerving feeling, really, because I'm not going to go into detail too much, but I just remember being told that this situation happened.
Yeah.
It was quite nerving because I've never been in that situation before.
Yeah.
So I know the history of the club that they've had the previous manager John for a long period of time.
Yeah.
But in my position, I wasn't sure what was going to happen.
Because obviously it could have happened. It didn't obviously, but it could have been someone completely different could have come in and said like, "You're in this. I don't need you in this position." So
definitely, and that's football. Football. People come and go, and then, like, as you just said, then a new manager could have come in and gone, "Actually, I'm just bringing my own people." Yeah. That's fine, and you accept that. And that's football. And you move on, and you find a different challenge. But thankfully, that didn't happen. I'm still at this wonderful football club. Yeah.
So, what would you say? Are you still at the football club? But you've been how long have you been here now?
This is my third season.
What would you say some of your best memories are being here so far?
From best moments, first team wise, I'd probably go with Chester away. Chester was unbelievable when Millsy scored it.
Oh yeah, the last minute goal. Yeah.
Hereford was good.
Yeah.
We beat when we won at Hereford. With the youth team as well, winning the quadruple.
Yeah, we'll talk about the youth team in a second, but we'll stay with the first team for a minute. Like, what players last season are sort of like, they would have taught you a lot as well. Yeah. Some of the players, because you would have been given a stick by quite a few of them. But like, I think they appreciate your in the position you're in, sort of thing as well. But like, was there anyone that in particular that you sort of would say had an impact on you?
An individual player, I'd probably say Jono.
Yeah.
I thought Jono was a really good lad. Still is, cracking bloke. And again, it was funny. One of some things he says.
Come on, give us an example of
I can't.
A story.
Some things I can't say because I'm the coach. But
yeah,
he probably was big impact.
Yeah.
Just what he was a person. He was friendly, but then he was quite professional. But then,
what are the players like around you, like in the change room?
Well, now,
no, we'll stay with last season. We'll get on.
Last season, yeah, they were good. They're always just cracking.
Was it weird? Because when you first come to the football club, what was it like though? When did you first start going into the change room and stuff like that? Like, was that early on or?
Early on, yeah.
Yeah.
Early on, it was really on. One thing it was quite. I wasn't really too sure, to be fair, because I wasn't sure
what to do.
Just little things like, where do I stand?
Yeah.
Or what do I do? And then if I go into the change room and the players are sat there, what do I say? Do I say now? Do I just do my job, what I'm told?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but then again, that really went within a week.
Yeah.
And then obviously in training, they're in the change rooms. Again, that was a bit nerving because you're not sure what they're going to say. And I didn't really take, when they made jokes at first, I wasn't sure how to took it. I wasn't sure how to take it.
Yeah, so before we get onto the youth team stuff, which is obviously a big part of what you've done here, what's it been like? You're sort of in that situation now where you've actually managed to start. You take some of like the warm ups and things like that. Would you say like how long was it before you started like doing bits and bobs like that?
Probably halfway through last season.
Yeah.
Probably last season, but then that all comes with trust. You have to trust the people who you're working with.
Yeah.
To do what's required.
Yeah.
So I think there was a time where Jack was away, for example, and Mark was setting up the session and etc. So I had to do it, and it's all about taking responsibility.
Was you nervous at the start doing that?
Yeah, I was a little bit nervous.
It's weird because it sounds like it's weird. I'm asking you because I would see, but like we're always together at the we go like home and away together here and stuff. But like I never actually see what you're doing because we're just too busy doing other stuff. Like
things.
So I'm learning a bit about you here as well. So
yeah, I think at first a bit nervous because you're not sure if they're going to listen to what you're going to say at first.
Yeah.
And first, you're not going to sure if what you're going to say, are they going to believe it? And two, are they going to do it? And third thing, how they're going to take it.
Yeah.
Who's a skeezer coming in, taking our warm up?
Yeah, because
they weren't like that
and stuff. Yeah.
But they weren't like that at all. They're really receptive. They were positive.
Just give you a bit of stick for your demonstrations.
Yeah, but I think I struggle with that, to be fair, a little bit.
One thing you need to work on.
Just a little bit, but I'll practice that.
Yeah, definitely. So the stuff that happened with the under-18s, obviously, it was a massive achievement for you because it was you were fully part of. What was your role for the under-18s last year?
So I was like an assistant coach with Paul Cox, Mark, as
Mark,
manager.
And you won the quadruple. So do you can talk me through that the whole season really? Like what was it like? Because obviously that's completely different to being with the first team. Did you have more impact?
I probably would say yes.
Yeah.
But then that's understandable.
Yeah, definitely.
Because of the standard and where it is.
Yeah, and the age of them and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
But what was that like? Just because a personal achievement for you as well. You must have been like I could tell you was over the moon anyway. Yeah.
But I think firstly, what a cracking bunch of lads they were.
Yeah.
All worked hard for each other, had a great attitude, banter through the roof. When it got time to doing the right things, they would bang at it 100%. But it was a good season. We struggled with numbers throughout the year just through various reasons. More down to education more than anything.
Yeah.
because I'm a strong believer in I have 3 core values, which are family, education, and football.
Yeah.
So and it goes in that order. Your family's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And then it's your education and your football. Because let's be honest, not everyone's going to be a footballer.
Yeah.
So your family is unbelievable. My family, I'm so grateful for, and the background I've had.
Yeah.
Then your education, get a good education, then whatever you do, you always have that behind you.
Yeah.
And then your football can be your third thing. But throughout the whole season, we've had we didn't lose that many games. We probably lost, looking back, obviously, we've had a wonderful season. But we lost the important games, and then we lost one game to Hyde, which was so frustrating. At the time, we thought the league was gone. But we got it back, we worked hard. We don't train that often towards the end of the season.
Didn't get the time.
Not really, because we had the philosophy, obviously, the football club of young players.
Yeah.
So I think at the time we had a squad of 15.
Yeah.
And 8 of them were training with the first team week in, week out, regularly.
Yeah.
Rightly so, because they deserved it, and that's what I wanted to see. So we didn't actually do many things as a group, and to do what we did with that amount of time, I think towards the last month and a half of the season, I think we trained twice.
Really?
I think we trained twice.
But what was it like winning the trophy? Because obviously, I don't know if you would have been expecting to win any of them or not. Like obviously, because the quality and stuff. But when they start like totting up and you get towards the end and you've won 3 by that point.
Yeah, I think it's just the first one.
The first one. Which one was that? The first one.
Get the first one here against the under-17s.
Oh, was that the first one?
That was the first one.
Yeah.
Get that one out of the way. Because again, 17s were a good side.
Yeah.
Don't give them any disrespect. They're a very good side.
Yeah, no, they had a few chances.
They had a few chances.
Luke Morell's free kick, which is unbelievable.
And then Elliot Cook.
Yeah.
And then Josh McVetti making it 3-0. And that was the first one. And then winning the other 3 was phenomenal.
Yeah, because one of them, you nearly lost the last one, didn't you?
We did. Even the last game of the season, winning on penalties.
Yeah.
Imagine winning a league.
Because you was behind twice, weren't you? In normal time, and then extra time you went behind as well.
We were, and Adam Mears scored both. And
both goals, yeah.
He scored both goals. An unbelievable moment, unbelievable experience.
Would you say that's topped anything that's happened in the first team?
Because personally, I had more of an impact on it. Probably not. No, just because I felt I had more of an impact.
What with the under-18s? That was better, yeah.
So probably
because you missed the Manchester Premier Cup final. Didn't
I
you?
did, and that was heartbreaking. And that was through through work purposes.
Yeah.
But unbelievable. And Jack Sloan scoring the winning penalty. It was unbelievable. It was just. I think we expect to win in the County Cup. Yeah. Because Mark's previous record is pretty impressive, to be honest. Yeah. I believe it is 5 in a row, but don't hold me to that. But then we always expect to be competitive in the league because we are a good side. People like Chester and Altrincham, they're very good sides, and Hyde. And then the rest, obviously, we've just. Yeah, it's just amazing, really.
It's an unbelievable set of players, yeah.
I do want to mention that we did as a group.
Yeah.
As coaches, me, Paul and Mark, and as the players, we did as one group.
Yeah.
And we all played our small part within that. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, so that was just, it was an incredible achievement, not for just you, but like the club in general.
Oh, definitely.
To be able to have that. And obviously a lot of them academy players, we've had a few that are coming to the first team now and are sort of like on trial with the first team and things like that. So we'll see how they get on. But talking of the first team, because it's a complete revamp, hasn't it? So what's that been like?
I think it's been really good.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed it, to be honest. I've really enjoyed it. New set of lads. Also, we've had a few retained. Yeah. A few stayed, which has been good. I think they've been the right people. I think it's just a bit more professional. Yeah. To be honest with you. I think that's just a club in general. Yeah. Or a new era, and we're changing things, just like where we are now has changed. Yeah. But I think as a group, we've expected more of each other as coaches. Yeah. Because a lot of us have stayed. We've all been here. It's just the players which have changed. Yeah. Every training session, we're on it. We're expecting high demands from ourselves and from each other. I feel a lot better.
You looking forward to the season?
I can't wait. Again, it's a bit like pre-season. It's just like Christmas. Because you wait for pre-season, and when pre-season's going, you just wait for that 3rd of August. Yeah. And when the fixture list comes out,
and then you get to go back on holiday and miss a load of games.
Yeah, I know. That's through work purposes. So.
But you're back for the trip to Kings Lynn away on.
Can't wait.
The long one, but no, it should be a good season, to be fair.
Definitely. I think I'm just looking forward to see how this group do. Yeah, definitely. Because I believe we recruited very well. Yeah. Not knowing some of them before. Yeah. And seeing how they do in the last few weeks we've had them, I feel like we've recruited very well.
Yeah, and I think that they've gelled quite well as a group as well. Like it's a good level of like professionalism to like the banter they have with each other, but also with like the code, like there's a good level of stuff. Like obviously you get a bit of stick off a few of them and stuff, but
I do give it now.
Yeah,
I do give it. Yeah, I do give it now, which is because I think the lads like that as well.
Yeah, definitely. But that's a big thing for you, because I think we're finished on you as a topic, sort of like your morals and stuff. But like another thing for you is like a massive part of your journey. Obviously, growing up would obviously be, like I said, I touched on your mum and dad and what they've done for you, but you've got quite a lot of brothers and sisters as well, haven't you? So how big of an influence have they been?
Massive. Certainly, like my brothers and sisters and my parents. My mum and dad have been unbelievable for me. Unbelievable. My mum is an amazing woman, like my dad.
Tracy, lovely
Tracy
lady.
and David, they're fantastic people, and they've given me so much confidence and belief. Certainly, my mum is, like I said, my mum and dad give me so much confidence and belief, and told me, as I mentioned later on, if you want to do anything, you can. And me having the issues when I was younger, they just build me with confidence. I just probably made the person I am. My mum and my dad, my brothers and sisters give me the values and beliefs of always staying humble, always have the attitude. You've seen a little thing in my room saying, take the risk or lose a chance.
Yeah.
And every time I do things, it's funny, but every time I do something, I think that in the back of my head, take the risk or lose a chance. And my mum always says, sometimes in life, people will have a straight line to their path.
Yeah.
And some people just have to take a few bends in the roads.
Yeah.
And certainly that's for me. I've took lots of bends in my roads.
Yeah.
But I always think that in my head, I'm going to get there eventually. People just take a little bit slower. And my brothers and sisters, it's funny, you know, like, because
you're all completely different now, aren't you?
There's 5 of us. So we'll start with the oldest. There's Gabby, so she's the oldest, so she's living in London. And then there's Ryan, who's the second, he's living at home.
Older brother.
The older brother. And there's me. There's Paris, who's my younger sister.
Yeah.
So she's living at home as well. And there's Devon, who's 17, so he's living at home. But we're all different in different ways.
Yeah, completely.
But we get on so well.
Yeah.
People used to come to our house and think it was crazy because we'd all be in the house and you could hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
We never argued once as children, ever.
Never.
Ever. Because my mum always said to us, if you want nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
So we just hear a pin drop. We got on so well. We went on every family holiday together. And me and my brother Ryan, we've got closer the older we've got.
Yeah.
The older we've got. Like, we always got on well. But since I probably could start going out and having a few. Even though he's not a big drinker.
Drinking the ales.
Yeah. Even though he's not a big drinker, but that's probably where we got closer. So now we speak probably once every few days.
Yeah.
Because again, we both have busy lives. But I just wanted to mention that how important they are to me.
It's hard for it's easy for me to see, but a lot of people at the club won't see how far you've come to where you are today.
Yeah.
I'll let you sort of explain in depth or as in deep as you want about like your sort of journey and sort of what the things that you believe to be where you are and sort of like your aims for the future.
So firstly, from a young age, so again, I wasn't very strongly academic. So I wasn't strongly academic. So I got told quite a few times that, not by my parents are the most supportive people I've ever had my entire lives. Yeah. They've always backed me, and anything I've wanted to do, they've always told me to do it. And do anything you want to do. If you want to have a go at it, do it. If you want to have a go at it, do it. There's other people externally who said, Rory might not be able to do this. Or,
I think you've always had people saying you can't do this, haven't you?
But then I mentioned back to like James and my parents and my brothers and sisters. They've been so supportive of everything I've done. So I've got so many good people by me, which I'm grateful for. Little things like, because I had some issues as well. So like doctors say I wouldn't be able to do this, I wouldn't be able to do that. Go to school. The school were really good for me because they gave me a job. So I was a teacher assistant in physical education for 4 years. Yeah. But at the time when I was a student, they'd say you probably wouldn't be able to go to the college you want to go to because of your grades. Then they said you wouldn't probably not be able to go to university either. Yeah. Which, again, look where I am today.
Yes. So it's a story of like you've always been told you can't do things. I think it just goes to show though, like if you take away football in general, but like just as a sort of a life lesson, like you should never let people tell you can't do things.
No, not at all. So I'm a strong believer in you have a great attitude. Yeah. Be driven, and if you want, the only person stopping you of what you want to do is yourself. Nobody else. Because you have to want to do it yourself. Yeah. Because I can tell you, and I encourage you to do this, this, and this. But deep down, if you're not prepared to do it and sacrifice everything to get to where you want to be, it will never happen. Yeah. And you'll just stand still.
That's the thing in the sort of the generation we sort of grow up in now. it's becoming like less increasing that this sort of happens. But like, what's the word? I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but it's hard to break away from sort of
definitely
the pack. You have to step outside the bubble and be completely different to everyone else.
Definitely. So for me personally, I'm starting to read quite a bit now before I never previously.
Yeah.
But I'm personally a believer it's going out your comfort zone. Because when I'm in my comfort zone, I don't like it.
Yeah.
So I explore something different. And that was my reason to come up here. New city, further away from home, I couldn't come back. I didn't know anybody, which it was great for me because I know so many more people now.
Yeah.
And I would encourage anybody to do that. So when I go back home and I see people and they're just standing so still, they've not changed from when I left 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And that drives me up the wall thinking, how can you not evolve and change the person?
Yeah.
And also I say to the sixth form people, the kids I'm really close to, I say, we live in a world now where you can do what you want.
Yeah.
It's not like when our parents grew up where you had to get a job to pay the bills, to put food on the table.
Yeah.
If you want to do anything, you can. And don't let anybody stop you, because I believe people come and go, especially in coaching and
In
media.
football in general.
So somebody's always going to get promoted eventually.
Yep.
And someone's always going to lose their job eventually.
Yeah.
So why can't you be that person to take that job?
Yeah. And another thing, sorry, I'm just interrupting, but
fine.
like another thing as well. If I don't know how many younger people, well, I'm not sure there'll be too many younger people that listen to this, but like for people that have like parents and sort of they know people that are considering going to university and stuff. One thing, like for me as a pet hate, and I know it for you as well, is when people say you need a backup plan, because I don't think that's like, if you've got a backup plan, you're obviously not confident enough in yourself that you're going to be able to make it doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Just completely agree. People say, oh, what if that happens? Or what if you don't make it? Why are you not going to make it? And having that plan A and going for that thing. So another little motto, one of many I have, sometimes you got to lose money to gain money.
Yeah. But it works the same, and it's always one step back to get 2 steps forward.
So we know a lot of people at our age who have a decent wage, have a decent job. Sorry, not necessarily a decent job, but the money's decent, but they hate what they do.
Yeah.
Where for me, speaking on personally myself, I don't necessarily have the most money in the world.
Well,
I love what I do.
That's the thing. That's like
it.
we had like a work experience lad in this week, and asked us like, what's your wage, sort of thing, and we had to explain to him that it was like, we don't do it for that reason. It's always because we love doing what we do here, and the experience and the opportunities we get, like it's priceless, isn't it? So like you can't put a value on the stuff we get to do here. But like that's what I said. Just like personally, my message would be like to just do whatever you want to do.
One thing I would say is, as I said to that lad, if money wasn't a thing, would you wake up and do your job? And think that to yourself, and the viewers listening to this, think about that to yourself.
Yeah.
If money wasn't a thing, would you wake up and do what you do today?
Yeah, it'd be surprising like how many people would actually change their career path just based off that alone.
How many people? But the thing is, how many people would say yes?
Yeah, definitely.
How many people would say yes? And I promise you, it probably wouldn't be high.
But yeah, it's a bit weird in perspective though. We're bringing it to an end now, but like I think about it now. We're obviously chatting about how you managed to get here. But like this podcast today, it wouldn't be happening. Like I wouldn't be here if that journey for you, the whole thing, has got like, because that's bottom line. Like I wouldn't have been in Manchester if it weren't for you. I wouldn't have come to Curzon if it weren't for you. So it's weird now that we're sat here, and this is like one of the products of you just taking that first like step to go to college. When you think of like that, yeah.
I'm just very humbled to be able to play a small part in your journey. And I genuinely do mean
You're
that.
just humbled to know me, right?
Correct, 100%.
But yeah. Anyway, it's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you very much.
I'm about to walk downstairs with you and probably spend the next few hours with you anyway.
Yeah.
But we will leave it there anyway. Thank you for coming on.
Perfect. Thank you very much.